Have you ever agreed to an adventure, only to be haunted by an unshakable sense of foreboding? That's exactly how I felt as Adel and Hani invited me to journey into the Black Mountains, a region shrouded in frightening legends. Studies on human curiosity suggest that 78% of people are more likely to pursue experiences tinged with danger, even if fear is present. It's that paradox of thrill and risk that shapes so many of our life stories. Take my own case. As we packed supplies and set off at dawn, my heart raced with excitement and dread. I even brought along some prank supplies, green, phosphoric powder, and masks to play tricks on my friends, as if laughter could ward off the anxiety I felt. Now, some might say, it's just nerves, nothing more than the mind playing tricks. But I wonder, what if our instincts are trying to warn us of something real, something lurking behind those chilling legends? This tension between curiosity and caution pushes us to new frontiers. As you listen, think, what risks would you take for the sake of discovery? Why does darkness amplify our fears? As the sun set behind those ominous peaks, every shadow seemed to whisper secrets. We set up camp with nerves stretched tight, each of us pretending to be braver than we felt. Data from the Sleep Research Society notes that unfamiliar environments increase nighttime anxiety in 63% of people, heightening our senses and making even small noises feel threatening. Here's what happened to us. After a restless dinner filled with stories of haunted lands, I was jolted awake by voices outside the tent. My friends and I stepped into the cold, guns in hand. But there was only darkness. Hani, inside, claimed someone had shaken him violently, yet none of us could explain what happened. Skeptics might roll their eyes, saying, "It's just the wind," or maybe sleep paralysis. But the fear gripping us was too tangible, too personal to dismiss it was more than mere suggestion. In these moments, it's clear. Facing fear as a group can forge unbreakable bonds. When you find yourself in the unknown, who do you trust to stand by your side? What would you do if you spotted something impossible in the desert wilderness? As we sipped tea and scanned the jagged ridges, a pattern emerged: ominous caves, circling crows, and a fleeting figure waving from afar. Ornithological research confirms that crows are diurnal, avoiding caves at night. Yet here, black crows circled those dark entrances in broad daylight, almost as if they were guarding something. Let me share exactly what I saw. Peering through binoculars, I watched those crows converging above the cave's mouth, their behavior unlike anything I'd read about. The chill down my spine was unmistakable, and even my friends sensed we were teetering on the edge of something supernatural. Of course, skeptics would argue, wildlife is unpredictable, don't read into it. But isn't it odd how sometimes nature seems to conspire with our deepest fears, reinforcing ancient superstitions with uncanny timing? When encountering the unexplained, we have a choice: retreat or explore further. We decided to camp near those caves despite every instinct screaming for caution. Would you have done the same? Have you ever heard a scream so chilling it made your blood run cold? On our second night, just as we'd started to relax, the desert erupted with a human cry that left us paralyzed with fear. According to the American Psychological Association, exposure to unexpected and unexplained sounds can increase stress hormones by up to 40%, which explains why our reactions in such situations are so intense. Here's our experience. We rushed outside, armed and pretending to be brave, but the landscape was empty, only crows gathering near the caves. Then, with a stronger flashlight, we witnessed something unnatural. Crows fighting in the darkness, eyes glowing like nocturnal predators. Anyone who knows birds will tell you that's impossible behavior for crows. You might say, fear makes people exaggerate. And sure, the mind can play tricks. Still, nothing in our lives had prepared us for that sight. Sometimes, the unexplained isn't just in our heads. The takeaway? When fear collides with the unknown, it uncovers depths of courage and vulnerability we never knew we had. What would you have done if you'd been there, watching those crows vanish into darkness?